I start with this discussion first with epistemology. Let's start the discussion with a story from Sufism. Once a Sufi called Dehlavi was sitting inside his mosque, and one of his disciples asked him, "Sir, why don't you look at the face of people when preaching?" The Dehlavi replied with putting his handkerchief on the head of that disciples. When the handkerchief was put on the head of the disciples' second sight opened, and he could see that every man is a form of species, like tiger, lion, bear, wolves. See? So this story says that humans have knobs or animal soul inside them, and Sufis have second sight, whose sight by which they can see the animal's form, but animal soul or knobs that resides in human body. So, so these stories, this story shows that basically that humans are humans have animal forms, or is the animals which exist in human form. Now I relate this story to English literature. I'm gonna relate this Sufi story with English literature. Look at the stories of Beatrix Potter. See, Beatrix Potter drew these pictures like humans in animal forms or animal in human form. Why did she draw these pictures, wrote these type of stories? Think, Beatrix Potter had Kashyap second like sight, like the Sufis, so she could see the nerves inside the human body. That's why she drew these pictures. It is reasonable that Beatrix Potter had Kashyap like Sufis. That's why she drew these pictures. The same thing come to Aesop's fables. Why Aesop the story to say these stories? Like these stories have same thing, the humans and humans in animal forms. Why? Is it reasonable to think that Aesop had Kashyap like Sufi's second sight? He could see the knobs that resides in human body. That's why he wrote these pictures. Same thing, same thing can be said about Dr. Island of Dr. Moreau of H.G. Wells and Animal Farm of George Orwell. That these literatures also depicts in animals in human form. So it can be said that H.G. Wells and George Orwell had insight, kasha, second sight, like those of Sufis. That's why they could see the knobs that resides in the human body. That's why they wrote these books. What about Shakespeare? Shakespeare's had a character like a donkey in human form. So the Shakespeare maybe had this type of second sight. He could see the knobs. That's why he picturized this type of character. Now I come to the point of Darwinism. Look at Darwinism. Human evolved from monkeys. So we can say that we are monkeys in human form, animal in human form, like that's the pictures of Beatrix Potter's book or Aesop's fable. So Darwinism is anthropomorphism, that we are in animal form, or we are animals in human forms. So now look at Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin was a Christian dervish. He was a dervish. So it is reasonable, plausible to think that Charles Darwin had second sight, kashaf, like those of Sufis. So he could see the knobs that resides inside human body, the animal soul. That's where actually Darwin got the idea of evolution. So that humans are actually animals because humans have nerves. So Darwinism is actually a theory of Sufism also, that knobs evolved from the animals and came into human. Where did the human got that knobs or animals from the animals? So Darwinism is a theory of Sufism, and Charles Darwin was a Sufi. Charles Darwin has second sight like Sufis. That's why he got the idea of theory of evolution. That is the actual thing, not the voyaging beagles, Galapagos Island. This is the actual story. That Darwin was a Sufi and he has second sight like those of Sufis. And that's why he saw the animal soul that resides inside human body. And that's why he got the idea of Darwinism. And now, relationship between biology and relativity. Look at this gorilla and human anatomy. That gorilla and human anatomy, these are homologous bones. That means same bones, only different in shape and size. So the gorilla's arm is longer and human arm is shorter. So see, so we can say that the animal gorilla arm becomes longer and human arm is shorter, the same bone. So we can say that a human hand is the gorilla hand, length contracted. So let's say a thought experiment. Say we accelerated a gorilla near speed of light. And its arm or hand got length contracted. So wouldn't that hand look like a human hand as depicted in picture? Or so, so I mean, a gorilla can be transformed into human by effects of special relativity. So what I'm saying that biological forms are relatives, or there is something called biological relativity or relativistic biology. Look at this Moa anatomy and human anatomy. It's the same bones, the same leg bones, homologous bones, only different in shape. They're like, uh, in case of Moa, the leg bones are longer. In case of human, the leg bones are shorter. Only same thing, only shorten in length. So it can be argued that relativistic effect produces biological species, or there is something called biological relativity. So there is a main substance which is changing form. The form is actually superficial, but there is some sort of inner substance which is original. The forms are only superficial, just changing form, going through transformations. So I think that's what Albert Einstein actually meant by his theory of relativity, that space and time is just form, is changing, relative time, relative space. Form is relative, form changes. But there is an inner substance which is constant. Inner substance is constant. Space time is just relative because it's just form, superficial form.